Assalamu alaikum. Brigadier retired Khalid Umar here. Today I am going to talk about the division of Bengal or partition of Bengal by Viceroy Curzon in 1905. How and why did they divide the Bengal province? The main reason that the British gave for division of Bengal, Viceroy Curzon too, was that administratively it was too big for efficient administration by the British rulers, and that is why they need to be divided. Bengal needs to be divided into two, with the Bengal presidency including Bihar and Orissa, and Kolkata or Calcutta, which was the British capital too, to continue as its capital of the Bengal presidency. This is the name they gave to it. In addition, from East Bengal, which was to be another province separated from it, with Dhaka as its capital, lost what later became East Pakistan and is the present Bangladesh, that is the Khulna division. Khulna division also included Jaisur. That was given to West Bengal or the presidency of Bengal. East Bengal, as the name they had given at that time, at Dhaka as its capital, less Jaisur Khulna, it had all of the future East Pakistan. It had also been given Assam, where there was quite a lot of Muslim population, and the eastern states. All Indian eastern states that you see, apart from Assam, Assam is also one of the eastern states, were part of it. Tripura, Manipur, Nagaland and other areas, though at that time there were different names given for administrative purposes to the eastern states or the eastern areas. And it had basically the Dhaka division, at the Rajshahi division, and it also had the Chittagong division in the south. Chittagong division with Chittagong hill tracts and the Chittagong port, the only port they had at that time. On the West Bengal side, Kolkata was an inland port. Howrah bridge over the Hooghly River, large size steamers could operate up to Calcutta. So there was an uproar by the Bengali intellectuals, all intellectuals led by Hindus. And amongst the leading personalities were Rabindranath Tagore and others. And I will name them. And they started what is called the Swadeshi movement. Swadeshi literally means one's own country. One's own country. This Swadeshi movement, starting from Bengal, spread throughout India, and it was taken up even by Congress and other people as to boycott the British goods. That was the main purpose they decided in Bengal, not to buy imported goods or the British goods, and instead rely on homemade cloth. And that is why you saw the Gandhi sitting or वो चरखा काट रहे, ये उस वक्त की photographs हैं. The Swadeshi movement. The Swadeshi movement, who had certain very famous names. I'll read out those names. The only thing I will add here is that the Bengal or the Swadeshi movement for reunification of Bengal basically was overtaken initially by some extremists. And who are the extremists? I may name them later. They were also suggesting that we'll carry out bomb blast, we will carry out assassination, etc., etc. But the large majority were not taken in by it, though there was a significant number who were called the extremists. And in the Surat conference of Congress in 1907, the terrorists tried to dominate the proceedings, but it was a divided opinion there. Now, amongst the leaders who started this Swadeshi movement were Bala Gangadhar Tilak, Lala Lajpat Rai, Bipin Chandra Paul, Bengali, Aurobindo Ghosh, Bengali, West Bengali again, Hindu, Mastarda Surya Sen. Sens are West Bengalis, also in East Bengal, but mostly in West Bengal, Calcutta origin. Bipin Chandra Paul, he was a very famous person, and Surendranath Banerjee. And lastly, Aurobindo Ghosh. All names, as you notice, were Hindu Bengalis, not a single Muslim name. The point to note. In the reunification or against the division of Bengal, it was led by the Hindu Bengalis, not by the Muslims. As far as Muslims are concerned, Nawab Salimullah, based at Dhaka, favored the division of Bengal as the backyard. East Bengal then was called the backyard of Bengal, or backyard of the Indian, British India, could now have its own voice, its own administration, and the Muslims who were all looked and dominated by the Hindus of Kolkata, the intellectual Hindus of Kolkata, will now have a time to breathe by themselves. So they welcomed it. But the majority intellectual opinion of all of Bengal pre-1905 was formed by the intellectual, Hindu intellectual mostly of Kolkata. And it continued when the Bengal was reunited after 6 years in 1911. Now I'll come to it. There were a lot of protests. Right on 15th October 1905, protests were organized by the Swadeshi movement and the Bengali nationalists. The foreign clothes or the British clothes were burnt to ashes in the major cities of Bengal. Plus, picketing was carried out by young Bengali students to stop the movement of the British administrative officers, or the government officers, who, even if they were non-local Indians. Now, during this time, Rabindranath Tagore was also giving statements time and again. He was giving messages through his verses to the Bengalis to reject the Bengal partition plan of Curzon, Lord Curzon. Now, during this time, and this is something very historical while I was studying it, now I came to know when was the Indian national anthem called Vande Mataram written, who wrote it, and who sang it for the first time. Now, the name of the poet who wrote it was a Hindu Bengali, surprisingly. His name is Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Chatterjee, as you know, are East and West Bengalis. Chatterjees are also found in Bangladesh, but mostly in West Bengal or Indian Bengal. He wrote it in 1870, as far back as 1870, Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram became the rallying cry for the United Bengal and Swadeshi movement, and eventually the Indian national anthem, and also adopted by the Congress many years before independence in 1947. It is now the Indian national anthem, written by a Hindu Bengali from West Bengal, Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Now we come to the Rabindranath Tagore. I covered in the previous video that the Bengalis, even East Pakistanis, they looked towards these Bengali poets, and the most towering personalities were that of Rabindranath Tagore. For them, he was more important than our Urdu poet Iqbal, who gave us the idea for Pakistan in 1930, Allahabad Muslim League, All India Muslim League session. Rabindranath Tagore sang this Vande Mataram in 1896. 9 years later, it became the rallying cry for the United Bengal movement by the Hindu Bengal, led by the Hindu Bengali nationalists of West Bengal, Calcutta, and eventually became the rallying cry for the Swadeshi, or one's own country, literally translated means one's own country, movement taken up even by the Congress later on. They boycotted the British courts, they अपना चरखा उन्होंने काता और अपने कपड़े बनाए. Now, for the United Bengal movement, the national anthem, incidentally, of present-day Bangladesh is also written by a Hindu Bengali, and that is Rabindranath Tagore. And which is that? And this was also the other rallying cry or song. It was Amara Shonara Bangla, my beautiful, our beautiful Bangladesh or Bengal. So the national anthem of India became the rallying cry for United Bengal movement, later the Swadeshi movement, and also the second anthem or the second song being sung by the rallying crowds was Amara Shonar Bangla, for a united Bengal. Simultaneously with this is very significant, very vital that the national anthems of India and Bangladesh were both written by Hindu Bengalis and around turn of the century. Next is, even the Muslim poet that I covered, Qazi Nazrul Islam, pronounced Qazi Nazrul Islam, who lived around the same time, sang verses after verses, saying that the Hindu and Muslims of Bengal were one and the same, part of the same body. For instance, one of the verses of Qazi Nazrul Islam of that time said, Bengali wording that I'm not covering, are that the Muslims and Hindus are two flowers of the same branch. Two flowers of the same branch. Muslims are the apple of motherland, that is Bangla, the Bengal. Muslims are the apple of motherland's eyes, and the Hindus are her life. Qazi Nazrul Islam, even the Muslim poet, was Calcutta based, did not lag behind in this United Bengal movement, and he was part of reunification of Bengal. Now I come, this entire movement resulted in forcing Curzon to change his opinion, but he stayed adamant, and he was eventually replaced by Harding, the next Viceroy of India. Harding did away with Curzon's division of Bengal and gave back Bengal. It became a united province. As such, what was East Bengal and West Bengal, and separated Odisha and Bihar from it. One point that I will say, one of the rallying cries used by the Bengalis or the Hindu Bengalis, West Bengal, that they had become a minority in the Bengal presidency, carved along with West Bengal. They had put Bihar and Odisha with it. And they said, we have become minority Bengali speakers in the province called Bengal presidency. So language, Bengali language के ऊपर इनको बहुत ज़्यादा था. The Bengali language, Vande Mataram, Amara Shonar Bangla, became the rallying point. And the seeds, I would end here, the seeds for creation of Bangladesh were sown in the period between 1905 to 1911, when Bengal was divided and there was a movement led by the Hindu Bengalis of West Bengal for reunification as per the old province of Bengal. But the seeds for Bengali nationalism in what became East Pakistan was sown there a long time before creation of Pakistan and a long time before 1971. That is all for today. I will cover the next historical perspective in another portion called the Bengal famine of 1943, but I will cover it in a separate smaller video. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan Zindabad, Allahu Akbar.